On this episode of That Kingsville Podcast, it apparently we're in the depths of a polar vortex that will never change. It just keeps getting colder and colder.
Okay, I'll be honest. When I just walked in, it didn't feel that bad.
But tomorrow it's going to feel like your deep freezer.
Oh. Wait till Friday and Saturday, suckers.
Fun. We discuss...
don't you work indoors, Kevin?
Yeah, you know who I'd feel bad for? Letter carriers.
Rec programs at EMDS. And the biggest topic of the month of January.
Snowshoeing.
Snowshoeing and school property disposition. Council made a motion.
Does that mean like snow? We want you gone?
All that and more on the Morning Zoo here on That Kingsville Podcast. That Kingsville Podcast proudly brought to you by Kingsville Brewery. It's 2026. The weather's confused and the sun sets at way too early. And somehow you're tired already. Good news. Kingsville Brewery exists. Good. Light A lager, crisp, clean, reliable, unlike your winter boots. Bold IPA, flavorful, strong, also unlike your winter boots. Crisp Hefeweizen, smooth, refreshing, does not require shoveling.
I've actually had these winter boots since about 2006.
Oh, well.
So they've been around
time for some fresh ones.
Not like Kingsville Brewery. I drink it too fast.
Did some yard work? Time for a Kingsville.
No, it's under snow.
Didn't do yard work? Still time for a Kingsville.
Also didn't do yard work because it's under snow.
Went outside and regretted it immediately. Guess what, guys? Time for a Kingsville. Brewed right here in Ontario and made for nights that start early and couches you don't plan on leaving. Head to KingsvilleBrewery.com, check out their full lineup, and find your cold weather favorite. Free delivery in Windsor and Essex County.
Yard work?
Okay.
Shoveling? Gosh.
Salting?
Kevin.
What I rushed home to do from Detroit today?
De-icing.
Kingsville Brewery, because 2026 is a lot. Thank you, Kingsville Brewery, for supporting That Kingsville Podcast. Welcome to That Kingsville Podcast. We're at the Morning Zoo here. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, traffic and weather are the twos. Sorry. Dave.
Traffic up and down Highway 3 looking good out there. A little snow covered. Expecting some delays coming in from Detroit. 20 minutes at the bridge, 15 minutes at the tunnel. Sorry, Gary, just killed the levels. The levels are just all peaking. Anyone heard when I just said that was
Steve, it was a dream that Kevin and I had as little boys to be on the radio. He actually did it. I didn't. I was afraid. So let us have.
I'm entertained.
Hey, but the weather is ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. Welcome to the show, by the way. Yeah. Like, subscribe. We're not the news. But we appreciate everyone's commentary and or feedback and subscribing, because eventually this will turn into our full-time careers and we'll be able to retire.
Oh, really?
What?
It's going to happen. 2026.
When does that pension plan kick in?
Woo!
Well, last Wednesday was awful, weather-wise.
Sure. We'll go with it. I was gone. It's okay.
Yes, you were sitting on a beach sipping pina coladas after watching the Jags get eliminated. But
hey, it happened.
It's all good. So we, my daughter and my son had a swim meet in Windsor. So they left, normal time, Wednesday morning. Everything's great. So she's the deputy prime minister at the high school. So they had a student senate meeting at Riverside High School. So they had to go from the aquatic center downtown to Riverside. And if anyone knows where Riverside is, it's not the easiest high school to get to. It's not like,
no, it's not.
Kennedy or a couple others that are on main roads. So she had called me and I was on my way home from work and managed to get them both safely to Riverside. Fantastic. They had a music project they had to do, which required them to stop in Essex that night to watch an ensemble play and do some interviews. Great opportunity. And they didn't really want to pass it up. So they then had to get from Riverside to Essex. And they didn't have their instruments because they're not going to take expensive instruments and leave them in the car all day, whatever. So I had planned on meeting them in Essex with the instruments. So we're talking about somebody now, my daughter, who got her full license
months ago,
October, November time.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
First time really driving in the wintertime. So she called me as they're leaving Riverside. And they have GPS and they have the maps and everything, so they kind of have an idea where they get to. And I said, basically, get on Manning. Hopefully Manning is plowed. They get on Manning. Manning's slow moving. And, there's always one. So I've got them on the phone as I'm driving into Essex. And all of a sudden I hear honk. And she said to me, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Some guy in a white pickup truck just flew by me honking the horn." I said, "Well, there's not a lot you can do. You're probably going as quick as or slow as everyone else is, and you're doing it safely, and you just got it's fine." Anyway, she got a little bit further up the road, and then she said, "Oh, there's a white pickup truck off to the side of the road stuck in the snow." Yeah. And I said, "Leave it at that. Leave it at that. Don't you're not going to honk. You're not going to laugh." And she wasn't, but part of me might have thought of it, but I'm like, that doesn't make me any better than them, and that's karma going to bite me. Anyway, my thought, if I can get to Manning Road, maybe I can follow them or they can follow me and everything's great. So I get on Manning Road, get up to whatever the gas station, the Esso gas station is at 46. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I need gas anyway. I'll fill up. They'd had to pull off at the gas station at the next road just to kind of clear the ice off. Yeah. Anyway, they should have been in Essex well before 7. They got to Essex at 7:30. And I remember coming off Manning and onto Talbot, and there's no streetlights, and it's just snow, and there was no oncoming traffic. So it's actually the oncoming traffic that helped you, because it gave you some light and some space awareness. Yeah. And then at that point, my wife, who was involved in the grade 8 night at the school, had said, "Hey, why don't you come back to Kingsville and pick me up, and then I can drive them home," thinking long day, new driver. And my daughters can be, she's confident, she's not cocky, and sometimes, she might dig her heels in and say, "Hey, you know what? No, I got this." Made the proposal. Yeah, sounds great. So by the time 9:30 rolled around, they were home. But it was that night that seems to have sort of set in motion the snow. I know it kind of disappeared for a little bit, but then it came back, and now the cold is coming. And I don't know when it's going to end, because looking at the short term, we're in for at least a week.
It's a couple of weeks. Yeah, there's a polar. Was it La Nina polar vortex?
La Nina, is that the cold one?
Yeah, El Nino. Judging from my Chris Farley Saturday night, I'm El Nino.
Yeah.
There's El Nino and La Nina.
La Nina. The lady, not the man.
Well, I heard today it's supposed to be a hotter than usual summer.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So we're going to
tomorrow, or we got to wait for it.
I'm okay waiting for that, but I'm also okay with, a little bit warmer.
Hey, I know when I haven't done a good enough job shoveling my driveway, when I forget our letter carrier's name. Dave. When Dave walks up and he doesn't even bother with our steps and just throws our mail at the front door.
We just want to die.
As deserved.
Yeah, he doesn't want to die.
As deserved. And I'll get home and like, oh, Dave was having none of it today.
Sorry, Dave.
And then I'll get the salt out and take care of business. But
it's the common denominator or level. Sorry, I shouldn't say denominator. It was the leveler, because everybody has to deal with it, and it all sucks. And nobody likes it. And you get hotheads that think that they can drive and intimidate people on the road. And usually, karma's real, and you get your just desserts. But more so, it's the inconvenience end of things that really bothers me, and how some people don't do their fair share and don't clear it at all because they feel it's somebody else's responsibility. No, you clear as much as you can, as fast as you can, right? Like Amazon guy, delivery person, right? Or letter carrier, or
or Kathy's at home because the farm's closed, so might as well just leave it for her. No,
I didn't say it. It's
fine.
Is that
wrong?
I did find today that a lot of people had cleared a path or their driveway, and it makes a difference, because I'm not going to go trudging through snow on lawns to, it's great calf workout, but I don't need it.
Yeah, but it's also courtesy, like to human beings. Yeah. Like, there's some individual that's due to your house to bring you
things,
stuff,
things.
Thank you for that. Was a good save.
Say stuff. We know
stuff. Yeah. Right. And the least you can do is clear a little path so that they can get there safely. Yeah. So remember, here's your community's safety tip.
PSA of the day.
Oh boy.
Before we get into it, do we want to talk a little bit? And I know we don't get into federal politics or global politics, and I don't want to too deep, but I really think we need to touch on Mark Carney's speech at Davos yesterday. Did you guys happen to see it?
I caught a few snippets.
So if anyone listening, and I don't want to get into discussion around it, I just feel like It's one of those important things that people need to watch.
Yes, I would agree.
And whether or not you want to agree with his comments, whether you're a liberal, conservative, NDP, Green, if you live here in your block, it's weird, but block, that's fine. And you don't have to agree with it, but he is our prime minister representing Canada on the world stage, making what some would say a generational style speech that sort of breaks away from what would have been our country's norms for the past 50 to 75 years. And if nothing else, I think it's one of those things that is important to see, important to watch, important to digest before you start reading, listening to commentary about it, so that you can have your own set of beliefs about what was said,
what it means, what it insinuates,
yep. How Canada's path forward looks in the view of our current government
as a medium power,
which is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, bang on. And proper framing of what the realities are of our economy.
Yeah.
But that said,
read it. We're not going to comment.
Yeah. Just watch the speech.
Read the transcript.
Don't just listen to people talking about it. Actually watch it first.
I don't know if it's factual, but I read today that only 3 people have ever received a standing ovation at Davos.
I know it's rare. I haven't heard a
Nelson
stat.
Mandela, Vladimir Zelensky, and
from the
Mark Carney. Oh my good. Okay, never mind. Clowns.
Well, if that is true, I believe you're right. I believe that is true, which is,
without saying it was fantastic or not, but that's, that was the impact it had.
Yeah. And there's a lot to take in a relatively short speech. Like, as a communications person, whether or not I want to agree or disagree with the actual meaning of the speech, that speechwriter, wow,
did a great job,
man. Like word economy,
he wrote most of it.
And kudos
from
to
what
him.
I understand.
Like the words he used, and even more important, the lack of words he used was so powerful. It's up there with some of the best speeches that you'll hear. Again, that said, not saying that you have to agree with the content, but from a high level, it's something that needs to be watched and understood on the basis of it and not on commentary of it.
Yeah, because each side will take their interpretation and then skew, miss a line or whatever have you. Make your own thoughts and impressions.
Yeah,
it's a very important thing that you should dedicate some time towards.
Yeah,
so
it'll take you 20 minutes,
and hopefully it'll take you longer. Hopefully it will take you longer. Hopefully you'll get something out of it, and it'll allow you to create.
Well, just think, if you've made it this far through our podcast,
you could have listened.
Could have just listened to it, and boy, it would have been time better spent.
Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry.
Maybe
Mom.
Pause us right now.
Go listen,
or just let us play on something else.
Please, it helps.
You're not going to miss much.
It helps the algorithm, and then we can retire.
Yeah, and then come back. In about 20 minutes, we'll probably be saying the same things.
Well, in our spare time, gentlemen, watch this transition. We can run some sports and recreation activities at the EMDS gym. Town of Kingsville is looking for proposals for recreation programs to be held at the school. And on social media, they've put out the bat signal. Can we call it a goose signal? Let's call it a goose signal. Come on. Steve, you hate me, don't you?
I'd rather be a coyote signal for the location.
But the Sound of Kingsville is doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear goose calls.
Sailboat.
Goose-ody.
No.
Hey,
We could
producer Gary.
combine them and be like a goosody.
Well, like a platypus. What is a platypus anyway?
Platypus?
Side.
I don't know exactly, but apparently I learned trivia at Saturday night at the Legion that it has some sort of thing on its heel. It's like a stinger or something.
Yeah, it's a.
Did not know that.
Huh.
Did you
But
get
it's
it
funny
right?
because because we second guessed the person in our group that did get it right. So sorry to Chris Tite for
Sorry, Chris.
I believe
Not
it's
listening.
a billed mammal too, right?
It is.
yeah.
How about that?
It's Town of Kingsville seeking proposal from qualified sports and recreation service providers to host programming and or instruction at Erie Migration District School. Town is looking to provide organizational sports programming to the community, such as basketball, volleyball, badminton, and whatever sport, etc. is.
Oh, there's an
Yeah,
et cetera. Oh, I've got
there's-
one.
Applicants must demonstrate their qualified professional and experienced sport recreation program administrators should be able to develop engaging, inclusive, and age-appropriate programs. Relevant experience includes promoting positive sportsmanship and ethical conduct among all participants, recruiting and managing members, overseeing team rosters and player availability, creating fair competition structures, and understanding facility and equipment setup and tear down, and implementing injury prevention and safety policies. So there's on the Town of Kingsville forms Kingsville.ca. They've got a form that they'd like you to fill out with your proposal. Maybe we can get some indoor leagues.
I've got the perfect one. So I was in Lapavirta in Finland. I was walking around in the town, and there was a park, and this is like in March, so it's like a little bit chilly, like it's in central Finland, and go by the park, and I look over, and there's a rubber boot like flying through the air, and I'm like, what is happening? And it was competitive rubber boot kicking. It's a big thing in Finland and could be in Kingsville.
Not a whole lot going on in Kingsville. A lot of rubber boots just chilling.
Right now, they're doing nothing.
Put them to use.
You could do indoor training for competitive rubber boot kicking.
I would hope that your insurance coverage could cover potential injuries sustained via contact by an errant rubber boot.
Yeah, but I feel like you could take proper safety rubber boot precautions. Like you could stand behind the designated kicker.
Yeah, and full face mask, like football.
Yeah,
with a visor.
Yeah, I mean, it would be dictated by your insurance provider.
Goalie pads. Steve, I got nothing, okay? Really, he's talking about boot kicking. Like, help me out here, okay?
No, I'm enjoying this tonight. This is kind of like we're going down. We haven't done one for a few years like this.
Well,
I feel like
hey, there's always a time. Well, the heavier stuff's getting into it with the school, so we can start off a little lighter.
What's it paying?
It doesn't say. Looking for proposals. So I would assume that maybe
They're looking for freebies.
maybe volunteers, maybe whatnot. Hey, the space. There is a couple of things you do have to enter into a rental agreement for the space, and there's an administrative fee and whatnot, and then proof of insurance. So you have to have insurance coverage for a couple million.
So you would have to pay to run a program for the town.
Yeah, well, that's why I think that maybe there's a fee that maybe the town would be willing to pay to facilitate Parks and Rec, because then that means that town personnel does not have to run said league.
Well, there have been private leagues that have been using town property in the past, right? Like there was.
Well, yeah, like
It was an indoor soccer. Yeah, an adult indoor soccer league.
There was.
Actually, no, sorry. That was at Migration Hall, which technically was owned by the school board. So
Well, and there's any of the camps and stuff that happen in the summertime. So I think it's not a whole lot different than that, right? I think it's just like opening up the ability to say, hey, like if you want to run a program,
here's a facility.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm thinking it is.
Possibly. You're probably right.
Because I'm sure that they don't want to just go to the people they've already dealt with and be like, hey, do you also want this gym time? Like they have to make it fair.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you want to run, a volleyball league or a badminton league or rubber boot kicking, like everyone has the same opportunity to be able to house their said,
Thursdays at 6:30 to 7:45 is boot kicking.
Now here's a question. What's the selection criteria if they have too many people who apply? Like, do they say, well, I think volleyball's more popular than rubber boot kicking, so we better pick the volleyball people?
Competitive tug of war at Lakeside Park.
Yeah.
Let's make it, somewhat interesting.
Across the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Loser takes a dunk wearing protective, equipment.
Yeah, you need to wear all the protective
It's rocks.
equipment. Yeah.
Steve?
No.
0 for 2. I'm drowning here. Host.
Well, so would they.
Need it.
Oh.
This is what we do here on the
Gary
show.
liked-
Oh, jeez.
This
Gary
is why
liked
you
that
subscribe.
Gary liked that one.
This is why you subscribe to this wonderful program. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see the uptake because the town's negotiated with the school board for the facilities. I should probably use it, or else, all those folks at the school that want to do things.
Sorry, I have to. Kids are home alone.
Oh,
Yeah.
For a second there, I thought it was a.
No, it's like
Work emergency.
Is it one of my kids? It wasn't.
That's fine.
They're still safe.
Good. Good. Parenting
Mhm.
happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
Fantastic.
So the Coyote Corner coming up later. Oh, Andrea's. She's like, Dad, do I have to? I'm like, yeah, you do.
You have to.
My show.
Well, it's the end of the semester tomorrow.
Correct. And she's
So-
prepared it already. She read it to me. She's like, Dad, this is all I'm saying. So we got to ask her questions.
Oh, don't you worry.
Wow. So, all right. Here it is.
Grill
Has
the
she,
poor
has
15-year-old.
she ever kicked a rubber boot?
At me, probably. Dad, I don't want to put these on.
See? She have a
Likely.
future in it.
She may be the convener.
Yeah.
Yes. The biggest news, and we did talk about this last episode, was the town of Kingsville and the idea of putting in bids for the school properties, both Kingsville Public School and Kingsville District High School. This past Monday, if you're watching this in the third week of January, was the 19th was the council meeting.
Yep.
It was a 3-2 vote that the town would be placing a bid for the property of Kingsville District High School alone. It was a 3-2 vote. It was Mayor Dennis Rogers, Deputy Mayor Kim DeYoung, and Tony Gaffin voting for, and Councillor Lowry and Councillor Neufeld.
No.
Oh no, they were absent. So
Yeah.
they didn't
I'm
vote.
sorry.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Sorry.
So they didn't
jumped
vote.
on it too
So it was
fast.
Councillor Patterson and Councillor
Jarvis
Chauncey
Chauncey.
who voted against.
Yeah.
So, there was a couple of councillors that were absent. Boy, oh boy, the feedback about why do we have to do this? And it seems like each time something happens and there's another newsworthy event, that it just raises up all the naysayers and all the feedback amongst town. Why do we have to decide this? Like it's a brand new thing. It's not a brand new thing. This is something that's been a decade at least that we've understood. It was 2016 when the school board announced we'd be having the replacement school?
I believe so. It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
a long process. Yeah.
Correct. Long process because
Maybe even before that. I
Well-
think I did a story on it and I left radio in 15.
okay, well then, not a new topic. We knew this was a possibility. It's been something that's been part of council meetings, part of everything. So some of the criticisms were that there wasn't enough community engagement. There wasn't enough of things. But Mayor Dennis Rogers, presented his proposal about what he saw that those properties should be. There's been several other councillors, and
There's been committees. They've been setting money aside for this for 3 years.
Yeah,
It's
so-
not new information.
But the newest development is that they've had to concentrate their efforts on one property alone and not both. And that decision that was made on Monday shed Kingsville Public School from the direction to place a bid to purchase said property, which, boy, oh boy, that's a thing. Like, that's a huge thing. It's difficult, again, for me and the way I would hope that we would have been able to do things, that we could have had some sort of control over both of those properties for the short term in order to rezone, reallocate, redirect, reconfigure the town in general. And there's many different needs and many different problems that you face when you try to do that. So it's unfortunate that that piece of property now will go to the highest bidder or whomever the school board selects, because it's not necessarily the highest bidder. No, they're going to review each bid and select and vote upon that.
Yeah, it's not like a tender process.
No, but the board has to follow Ministry of Education guidelines that are laid out in that new law. And one of the guidelines is that they have to take the highest price.
Okay.
I want to reread it,
Sure.
but I feel like, yes, the school board can make a decision. However, there are significant guardrails put in place by the provincial government to say this is what you have to accept.
Fair enough.
And what is the size of that property? Because I know last episode
Both are 15
they're
acres.
not. They're not, because there was something posted on the board website indicating that what they originally posted for the land size for KPS was incorrect.
Yeah, I would assume that
okay.
was
So-
probably inclusive of some of the Urca property down at the bottom.
So
of the
I
hill.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the actual size is, but it isn't what we had said based on what they had posted.
So
it
they
is
corrected it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say that, yeah, it is a smaller of the two properties. It is not on a main thoroughfare. Does not, as Mayor Dennis's proposal, have the features and or allocation, accessibility, or location.
And I'm okay with this.
Go ahead.
Why? Were you
No,
gonna,
no,
are you going to contradict me on this?
You go first, and then I will happily contradict everything you say.
Okay.
And I'm gonna mediate this live.
Well, I guess I'm looking at it and thinking, okay, so if I'm a developer, there's a lot to work with here. There's green space, there's elevation, and a lot of potential. I guess if the town owned it, yeah, they could control, like Dave said, what goes there. But to me, I don't see that property any different to the end of Heritage, where they're going to put in, the new access road, and you're going to have homes coming off that. There's still only so much you can do with that property.
Can I? Please.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Please. So the issue is the designated economic centers that you have in a small community. And if you start segregating them and separating them by distance, you end up alienating an existing zone because all of the populace, the development gets stretched. So if we start to separate before we have a much bigger, more robust center, then we risk losing downtown core, which, by the way, most of the naysayers around town, and I'll call everybody out, you think that we're a small town and you want to continue that, yet now we're leaving all of that to a developer's chance.
But that property, it's not like it where the Freshco Plaza is, and there was sort of that gap for a little while. It's essentially downtown anyway. When you look at what borders it, yeah, there's residential area, but you've got King Street where there's 2 or 3 businesses. You've got an auto shop and that borders it, and a variety store. So like to me it's just an extension of downtown.
See, in my thought, I feel like it's far more important for the town to dictate what happens on that property than it is to what happens on KDHS. And we're going to get into some of the research, and we'll wait because it's not the time yet.
Yeah.
But just from my thought, I think it's important to connect Water Street.
Yes, which I've said and agreed with.
Right. I think that it's a perfect location for a European style town square. And then you can create a whole other secondary retail section in the town.
In the downtown core.
In the downtown. Like
Okay,
it's
sure, but aren't you the same people who've always said that why are we building 6-story buildings outside of town? So if a 6-story building went there, would that be a problem?
Mixed commercial, that'd be fine.
I've always said that densification should happen in downtown.
Right.
core.
So that's what I'm saying. So
Right.
they could do that.
Right, absolutely. But
And that
we
would
don't
be
know. But we don't know.
No,
we
we
don't know.
don't,
They
but-
could turn it all into luxury condos because it's got a wonderful view of the creek and have 0 commercial building. And that's the problem, because then you push everything out to the extremities. And where's the development going to happen in Kingsville? West. East, there's nothing, right? You got a couple of Wendy's, TD. I don't know. Anybody going up next to the farm? No, probably not.
Should tell you about this great place called Leah Maria's.
It's an existing establishment, but there's no new development space,
no,
right?
Absolutely right.
Subdivision across the street or beside Cindy's.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other small parcels. All the development is going west.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. And that's my major concern. Yes, those things about green space and town square and reconnecting Water Street. Absolutely. But it's keeping commercial in the heart of Kingsville. The heart of Kingsville. In that
so then
couple block sector.
Walker Road, and I don't know what it is. It's so if you're heading, let's say you're heading to the theater on Walker Road, and the light's just before the train tracks.
Provincial.
It's that new
Before
development.
Provincial.
Yeah, the new development
So
on
there's, if you look left. So they've got some fantastic condos with commercial space. To me, that would fit in with what...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because you're now... And the issue is you only have a finite amount of space in order to house retail venues. And then you have to go out. So if we have the ability to add to a current core structure, then we have the ability to add to that downtown capability. And maybe while the population expands and grows at a rate, that can be sustainable to the point where the surrounding community can keep it and it'll thrive, so that, hey, when that next stage of development and that next stage of population growth, it can foster and sustain another economic center that doesn't detract from the existing one.
Just and correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I actually don't know understand the ownership of the properties around there, but where they hold the block party, isn't that parking lot?
It's municipal.
That's municipal?
Yes.
It's not school board.
Nope. No, it's municipal.
No, the one behind the post office, that's a municipal.
That's why it's fenced.
So then that would be a cutout of the property that's going to be going up for sale.
Well, it was never included.
Yeah, it's not part of it.
Right, but the surrounding is part of what will go what's up for sale.
So basically, yes.
Yeah, the
so
sidewalks.
everything you drive into that parking lot and you're looking at everything that's going to be for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and I actually just, because I'm psycho like this, I actually counted the floors that are on those condo buildings you're talking about. They're 12 stories.
Okay. Well, I wasn't.
So
just
to give, and Kingsville has a limit of 6.
Right.
So just to be able to like understand what the size would be if that was in that spot.
The ones on Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what wouldn't you want to see? God, wouldn't you want to see on that property?
Just condos put up in a way that makes it able to have the most number of condo buildings.
Yeah. The ultimate amount of densification per square foot.
Yeah.
Chalk farm.
Yeah. Which
project.
And unfortunately, Kingsville has one in a. I'm not going to. Skipping over to the high school property. The surrounding properties that have development either in process or to be built are condos, right? To the north with the red house that everybody knows at 183, the two that exist behind the medical building, and then to the east, which is, well, it had the pause on development, but that property is still slated for at least 1 or 2 more 3 to 6 story buildings to be built at the back of that property as well too.
On the west.
Yes, sorry, west.
Yeah,
I got turned around.
Yeah.
Yes, to the west. You're correct.
Yeah.
But that kind of a development and is surrounding that area. So unfortunately that's where that space could be utilized for more condo buildings and it not be out of place. It'd be unfortunate if that's what that whole property was utilized for, because I think that we need a lot more single family style homes. I think that's a little bit more of a community building, especially, not everybody wants to live in an apartment or a semi-detached home.
Well, and unfortunately, the town, we're not the news, but from our understanding, the town is intending to put their new town hall on that property.
Yeah.
Well,
is that publicly announced or?
No.
I mean,
and I think we got to be careful how we word it as usual too. I wouldn't say intended. It has been suggested.
Yeah, thought.
And there has been discussion. We've certainly discussed it based on some of the things we have heard.
And it was discussed as part of the
and that's what to say. It was in the need study or
the need study that it was one of the options.
Facility study. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So and we talked about it last episode, and I think that now if we're focusing on buying KDHS to be able to put a new town hall there, that is unbelievably short-sighted to use the money to do that instead of ensuring that you've created a focal point and destination space for your downtown, because you can put a town hall anywhere. Now, I did some digging, and because I felt it was important that we give some context to how these projects typically go.
Yeah, we did talk briefly about Leamington and Harrow. Kev, you did some.
I did some research. I did some looking into.
Was that 6-point font?
Yeah, it printed really small.
Golly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time with this. Which I wish I had a proofread it before. But I don't know how else I would have printed this. It's a regardless.
Need my multifocals?
I'm gonna take these off because these are looking far away and not close. What I did, and there's a few caveats to all of everything that we're about to talk about.
Not the news is always the first one.
Not the news.
Gary, do you have the ability to put a banner?
Like not the news. Not the news.
Thank you.
So I use the Google machine.
It's a fancy thing.
And then did deep dives on every instance that I could find where a city or municipality in Ontario purchased a property from a school board to use it for development.
What other show are you going to get that level of commitment by a couple of bozos?
So I'm going to tell you that I researched every single one I could find. I am not saying that these are all of them, because there very well could have been one or two that I couldn't, or more that I couldn't track down in my searches. I found 15 since 2012, where a city or municipality has purchased a property to then develop it, them make a decision to develop it in some way.
Wow.
So, couple things. We're going to talk about what happened there and the length of time it took. Obviously, projects that started 10 plus years ago are more likely to be completed just because of time, right? Also, people need to understand the way affordable housing works from a municipal standpoint. So Kingsville is a lower tier municipality. And for people that don't understand what that means, the Kingsville reports up to the county, that's our upper tier municipality. And then typically upper tier municipalities have the responsibility of community and social housing.
Yes.
In Windsor, Essex, the county has given up that right to the city of Windsor. And the city of Windsor operates the Windsor Essex Community Housing Corporation, which is responsible for community and social housing in Windsor Essex broad. If you're wondering about that organization, they've recently made governance changes which removed 2 members of Essex County from their board. So they now have 1 Essex County representative on the board of Windsor Essex CHC. But they're the people who get provincial and county and city funding to operate social services. So if they were purchasing property, it would be different than if the town of Kingsville purchases property. Okay. The reason I bring this up is because some of the projects that we're going to talk about, like in the city of London, like in the county of Simcoe, they were purchased because those upper tier municipalities or large municipalities have the right to be able to dictate social housing.
Sure.
So they can buy it and say, we are going to build social housing there.
Fair enough.
The town of Kingsville can't do that. They can buy property. They can recommend to the Windsor-Essex Community Housing Corporation, we would like to build social housing here. They would then have to purchase the property from the town of Kingsville to build that. So it's not oranges to oranges or apples to oranges or like fruit to like fruit. It's more like pencils to cars.
Quick qualifier. The town would have the ability to sever, rezone, reallocate parcels of property prior to that. So they could sever off
Yes.
acreage.
But you can't dictate to
Correct.
Windsor-Essex Community Housing that you have to purchase this for community housing.
That's
they
correct.
make that decision.
But they could parcel it out so it's not the entirety with existing structures. So if they wanted to shave off the football fields and say, hey, you can buy this,
100%.
they can do that and rezone it prior to that transaction. Go.
All right.
Enough about me.
So the city of Niagara Falls in 2012, they purchased a high school, Battlefield School, for affordable and rental housing. That was their plan. City of Niagara Falls operates or works directly with a nonprofit, with the Kiwanis. They operate the Kiwanis nonprofit homes. So they there built an 8-story, 60-unit apartment building that's operated as nonprofit housing. And that was built in 2015. So City of Niagara Falls bought it in 2012. In 2015, there was a 60-unit apartment building there that's operated by nonprofit housing.
Sure. 3 years.
Kind of like what I think would be the idea of what they're hoping would happen here. Obviously not 8 stories. City of Hamilton in 2014 purchased a high school. They opened an arts and culture center there on the Ancaster Memorial School. They built the Ancaster Memorial Arts and Culture Center, and it opened in September of 2022. They held it for 8 years before something was built there and opened.
I do wonder in some of these cases if they had to demo and rebuild, or
All
if they
of
just
them they demoed.
they did.
Yeah.
Okay, because something like that last one made me wonder if maybe they just modified.
I'm sorry, I take that back. There are some conversions.
Okay.
This was a gut and convert, but the city of Hamilton paid. Well, in Ancaster, they paid to gut it.
Okay.
And then built it as.
Okay, I just think that's
arts
a
and
bit of an
culture
important point too,
Yeah.
because with this one, you would think they would have to gut it.
Yeah.
She's a teardown.
Yeah.
City of London in October 2014, they purchased property, and then they had staff reports in 2023 that there was a draft plan of subdivision to put a subdivision there. That's now off the books, and it's now a city park.
What school?
That is I had the name. It's on Lorne Avenue Public School.
Okay.
Then again, City of London, a couple months later, December 2014, they purchased Sherwood Forest Public School.
Say that again.
Sherwood Forest Public School
In London?
in London.
I attended Sherwood Forest Public School.
7
So
Annandale
did
Drive.
Robin Hood?
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's not there anymore. It's a
I
park.
was going to say.
Oh, that's why I asked what the other one was.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is this your former school?
I went to Nicholas Wilson in London and Sherwood Forest in London.
Well, there
Oh.
you are.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not there.
Well, geez, I'm losing.
He said he had a tremendous time at Sherwood Forest School. They were
Listen, you guys in Kingsville.
branching out his education.
Oh,
and
was that in the hood?
Keep it going.
It was the Robin Hood.
Listen, you guys, you're losing 2 schools. I've lost 3 now. Terrible.
Dave's cursed. No more schools.
No more schools for Dave.
Where did you go post-secondary?
St. Clair and Cape Breton University.
Well, I think St. Clair's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps growing. Okay, sorry, Kev.
That's all right. So there was a tender award to build condos on that site in London in 2018. Never happened. Now that's a city park.
That's a good place. It's in the middle of a dense, like neighborhood, so not a bad use.
Right. However, the city of London purchased it to build affordable housing.
Sure.
Never happened.
Didn't happen.
And so they're like, all right, well, let's just make it a park.
Yeah, put some grass there.
County of Simcoe in Aurelia, they purchased a high school site. And then they are in the midst, actually it just opened in 2024. The county there purchased it. They built social housing through their upper level of government, or upper tier municipality, and then they received $8.1 million in funding from upper levels of government, from the feds and the province, to put towards to subsidize the cost of that project. They held that for 6 years before that happened. Municipality of Chatham-Kent to redevelop the St. Joseph Catholic School that was on Raleigh Street in Chatham. That ended up getting a conversion. So they gutted it, converted it to apartments. They were supposed to be, at the time, they were billed as creating affordable housing apartments. I did look because I was curious. Those apartments right now are renting for $1,800 plus utilities for a 2-bedroom.
That's affordable.
Yeah. Would that qualify? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Just if people, hey, that's who are we to say?
Not the news.
It's 18. So municipality of Chatham-Kent purchased it in 2020, sold it to a developer. Developer turned it into apartments. That happened. It was converted to apartments like they had intended, and they are currently renting for $1,800 plus utilities.
Roll.
City of Burlington. This is an interesting one. So the City of Burlington in November 2022, and you'll notice the theme of the ones that work out. So the City of Burlington in 2022, they purchase a high school. Then they partner with Brock University, and they open a campus at Brock University on one half of the building. The other half of the building is a library and 2 gymnasiums, and that are operated by the City of Burlington. And then the other side is the school board. So actually rented the other part of the high school back to the school board. And then it's school board offices. And then they've also partnered with a couple of businesses that are renting space out of that location. It just opened. It opened in August of last year.
25.
And then there's continual phases of that opening. But when they purchased it with the intention of partnering with Brock University to open a campus. Prince Edward County, which is near Belleville,
Picton.
Just outside beautiful Picton, they purchased Queen Elizabeth School in 2024. There's a plan there to build 4 buildings, 211 units on a site. Again, that's the county of Prince Edward doing it for social housing. But that is only in the planning stages. Nothing has been, that purchase agreement was approved in 2023. City of London in 2024, they purchased property. They're still doing community engagement. But
it'll be a park.
Well, it's community housing there that's doing it. It's on their long-term plan, but there's no timeline on when that's actually going to be opening. Then we have Municipality of Leamington. In 2020, they made their purchase. We know what's happening there. They had a development agreement. It fell through. Now they're demolishing and hoping to be able to entice someone to come back and develop it. Town of Essex in 2021, they have former Harrow High School site. It was originally intended to be community use. Didn't happen. Now it's out for, or they've partnered with a developer to build affordable housing. So we'll see what happens there. Expected opening time of 2028. Town of Penetang, municipal-led development there after the purchase of the former Penetang Secondary School. So they purchased it in 2021. Demolition work began in 2022. 2024 council indicated that the town will now, because they couldn't find a developer to take it, retain the land, and now they're going to work to find a future municipal need for it because they couldn't find anyone to develop it. Region of Durham, 2022, they purchased land. It was the Ritson School site, which is on Ritson Road in Oshawa, if you've been to Oshawa. The region released an RFP to build rental units there. That region's tender closed on the 15th of August because 0 people submitted a bid to build those. So now they're in limbo without an idea what they're going to do with that site. The town of Lincoln purchased the Beamsville District Secondary School in 2024. They took ownership January 2025. They're still doing community consultations as of now. Their website was updated on the 4th of December on the town of Lincoln have your say. and they still don't have a stated plan, and they don't have any set conclusion to when their public consultation will close. And then the municipality of Chatham-Kent in December approved to build or purchase St. Ursula Catholic School site, which is actually kind of funny because when the St. Joseph Catholic School closed, all those students went to St. Ursula, and now St. Ursula is closed. And now that's also been purchased by a municipality of Chatham-Kent. And they've issued an RFP for affordable or attainable housing. But again, they're an upper tier municipality, so they're able to issue that RFP through government subsidies and through the social housing system. So what I can tell you from the little bit of the few projects, the 15 that I was able to find, the ones that worked were upper tier municipalities purchasing it for social housing and ones that have partnerships. And the other ones are in the middle of planning without a clear end. They become parks, or they're sitting where they're trying to find developers and they can't find anyone to take the property.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here. And to me, that then it looks like the right call for the town of Kingsville not to buy the former KPS, because they could end up stuck with it. But at least if they were to purchase the former KDHS, they already have a plan in place of what they would want to do with that property.
Do they? Because their plan is maybe town hall and then the rest of it affordable housing. End of story. No plan of what affordable housing is, just the words affordable housing.
Sure, but at least they've got an idea, part of it then. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is that, you mentioned one municipality there that purchased the property and now they don't know what to do with it. They're stuck with it.
Yeah, they purchased it for affordable housing. The region of Durham.
Right, yeah. But anyway, there was one there that didn't work out and now they're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Durham.
So that would be my fear if the town were to buy the KPS property, that they would end up with it and then they couldn't either flip it or find developers to do something with it, and then they were just stuck with it.
Yeah, I see. I understand what you're saying. I just feel like the difference is, at least from my point of view, that the high school site is purchasing it to build something municipal, we think town hall, and then the rest of it, they're going to put out for tender for affordable housing. Air quotes, right? They haven't said what that plan looks like. Downtown, you would have the ability, if you purchased it, to then demolish it at taxpayer cost, connect the streets, like we discussed. If you wanted to create green space there, then create green space and create the lot that you then want to, instead of partnering to do any of this, just put it up for sale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can sell it to a developer at that point, but you've already had your impact, which is always my main concern. Right,
and I get that. So then I guess it's circling back. It does make it seem like town hall is the priority.
This decision makes it seem like their priority is town hall, and then figure out what to do with the rest of the property after.
Because the facility study, I think it stated that, they are outgrowing the current location, right?
Absolutely. And that's why they've got additional space with the Unico Center, the arena, peppered in several different locations. So I think the other thing too with your list is the context we're missing about location with respect to other assets within those municipalities or cities or towns.
Right. And I actually did, because I'm a psycho, and I actually did Google Maps a lot of these.
I know you did.
And I can tell you the vast majority of them are in dense residential areas.
Correct, which would not necessitate economic growth or commercial growth structure for those sites.
Right.
Would be better for affordable housing or stuff like that. So,
okay.
Well, guys, February's coming up. 6th of February is that's when the bids close. So, next episode, we're going to find out, any other information that may come out from our town perspective before then. So I'm sure this topic will be an ongoing thing until the Board of Education announces, which they haven't announced officially who purchased Jack Minor Public School, but that's been
Kim DeYoung.
Correct.
Did, but that the board has not.
So why I've not.
Let's be clear. Kim DeYoung purchased it, or Kim DeYoung announced who purchased it? Okay, yes, because the way you said that, it sounded like Kim had purchased it.
Oh, yeah.
She stated who purchased it, but the Board of Education has not yet. So
okay,
right.
Who did Kim state had purchased it?
The owners of the current Mill Street Public School, which is now a Christian academy.
Yes. Okay,
that organization. So
okay,
interesting, to say the least. But
yeah, and it is to give. And I was reading some of the comments. There's a lot of people that maybe don't understand what the process of land purchase is. So just so people understand, like there is a deadline, like there would be for any bid or RFP. So the reason that this was put forward while two counselors are on their already previously scheduled vacation is because you have to follow timelines, and they had to do it at the meeting it was done at. And the information about their failed bid, this is the next meeting of availability where they could have that discussion. Right.
So it wasn't a matter of, coordinating when individuals weren't available to have a discussion. No, they're doing what they have to within the time frame.
And also one of the reasons that in-camera meetings exist in the first place is so that cities and towns can discuss property purchases behind closed doors without releasing the amount of money that they're going to be purchasing them for. Yep. So not only were they in their right to do it, it's the whole reason that legislation is, or one of them, that it's there. So they 100% are able to keep that bid secret. Really, honestly, they don't have a duty to ever release that number. Typically, if there is a purchase, then that number would come out. If they don't release it publicly, it would come out through the budget process and reviewing the financial statements of the previous year. But they have no duty to report. Also, the school board really has no duty to say who purchased the property. Nope. So we would assume that likely the town will release information saying they weren't successful. But if we don't find out who purchased it, there is no requirement for us, for the general public, to find out who it was that purchased that property. And all of that is all 100% part of the Public School Boards Act and the Municipal Act. So if anyone starts, with the rumors and accusations, all property purchases are supposed to be private matters behind closed doors, until at which point then decisions are being made with what will happen with the property. And then that's when typically a public entity will start discussing the property that they purchased.
Enough about the old school. Let's find out what's going on in the new school. It's Coyote Corner. Let's get Minister of Publicity, Andrea, on the phone. Hi, Andrea. It's your dad and the guys on the podcast.
Hello, Dad. How are you doing?
Hey, good. Now joining That Kingsville Podcast, Minister of Publicity, Andrea Hunt from EMDS. Andrea, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, we're spectacular. Andrea.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Andrea,
yes?
it's lots happened. Steve mentioned that we haven't spoke to you or had you on the show in a little while.
It has been a minute.
Well, bring us up to speed with what's happening behind the doors at EMDS.
Okay, well, right now there's not much going on since exams start on Friday. So everything is slowing down at the moment. But there's a lot of sports happening, like boys basketball and girls volleyball, which have been doing really good and have lots of wins. So that's pretty good. There's also the dance team, of course, that goes throughout the year. There's also curling, swimming, and hockey as well. But really, other than sports, everything's slowing down until February, when the semester starts again.
So everybody's now in study mode, concentrating, getting good grades, finalizing this semester.
Exams.
Can we talk about some of the aesthetics in the school, please?
Sure.
Yeah, because it looks really good.
Yes. Mr. Morfitt got a cricket. He's a business teacher.
Did he really?
And
Did he really?
Yeah. he got a cricket and he made signs for every single classroom that says like business, schism, teacher, whatever it is. Yeah.
There's also some purple paint now in the hallways.
Oh, really?
And we have talked about the atrium being one of the highlights of the school. Can you tell us what is now adorning that atrium on a high level?
There is a Coyotes like little thing, big thing up on the atrium wall.
Big logo.
Big banner?
Big logo.
Oh, logo.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So I believe it was done by Speedprint.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, not like a taxidermied like coyote.
Kevin.
Hey, what's up, man?
No, but the difference it makes, right? Character wise and comfort wise, it's growing.
We were in attendance for the arts showcase a couple of weeks back and didn't get the opportunity to
stay at the whole thing. Oh, sorry.
What is that?
We left early. Daddy's hungry. Okay, I don't miss meals. No, we had other obligations, so
I'm just giving
we ducked out
because I watched his daughter and he didn't listen to my kids.
Sorry,
you're the worst.
I am the worst.
Anyway, back to Andrea.
Andrea,
just teasing Dave. This is all fun.
So exams start when?
This Friday.
Did you study?
Yes, I have, Dad.
Okay, good. Kevin,
What?
did you study? Oh, you don't have
studying.
exams.
Always studying.
So, Andrea, are all the kids looking forward to getting done with these subjects and moving on to the next semester and to all new teachers and new experiences?
Oh, definitely. I think being in the same classes for that much time is very hectic.
Yeah. Expanding your horizons as you continue your high school education at Erie Migration.
This will be her sister's last semester.
This is your sister's last semester.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Sadly. She's growing up. Well, she doesn't listen to the podcast anyway, so we can talk all about her.
When do exams start again?
Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then how is it a week? This exam is a week?
Yes, next Friday is a PA day. So what they do is they schedule them Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but there's a day in there. Should there be a snow day or fog day or typhoon day, they give them an extra day, and then Friday's a PA day, and then the new semester starts.
As soon as they go back in February.
What would that be, the second?
Second, I believe.
Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Andrea, we thank you very much for sharing what's going on at Erie Migration, and I got it. What I can't not call it that anymore. It's what the school.
That'll work. Anyway,
the school in Kingsville.
Thank you, Minister of Publicity Andrea Hunt, for joining us on That Kingsville Podcast. Bye.
Bye, Dad.
Bye.
Thanks, Andy.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, gentlemen, yeah, that's it.
Cool.
That's the show.
Do you think they'd put up a taxidermied coyote if
Almost
someone donated one?
Most definitely.
No.
Yeah?
Yeah,
No.
I think
There'd be too many people who would be
animal rights activists,
or just spooked by it. But
What's
I just got a text from my other daughter. She goes, "Hey, wait, do you talk about me in your podcast often?"
she in the background?
She must be in the background.
Oh, jeez. However, speaking of not taxidermy, but tax, I just want to add this real quick because just circling back to the previous episode and the tax rate and the people who were kind of upset about the increase. Someone I know was talking to a friend of theirs who lives in Tilbury. Comparable homes, size-wise and everything else. And the difference in what we pay and what they pay is significant. So when this person told their friend how much they paid, it is still substantially less than what they pay in Tilbury. And kind of tells me two things. Maybe they're a little high in Tilbury, but by the same token, we really just didn't do enough over a certain amount of time that, again, then I've said it ad nauseum, but we're playing catch up, and we will be for a little while. Anyway, on that note,
that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening and enduring this. But as Kevin said, go watch the Carney speech, read it, create your own opinions. Thank you for preparing all this information.
Hey,
it's
here's how it goes.
It's how it tends to go. We got a couple examples that are in our neighboring communities, but province wide, this is other instances and what turned out. So what's going to happen? Who knows? We might get outbid for both. Yeah, we might get one. Who knows?
Yeah,
it's crazy. Thanks. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I want to retire. It's 9 to 5 things getting pretty old. Thank you for listening.
Can't wait for our benefits to kick in.
Oh, jeez. All the beer you can drink. We'll see you next time.